When I first started out to make 29 Reasons, there were a lot of reasons basically behind it, obviously. One of them, I had worked with these guys who were really good, with Branden and Damon, and I kind of knew something good was there.
Back in 2001, I met Gary Weeks on my Art Center senior thesis, Waiting on Lost.
3, David, take 5.
Roll camera and speed.
Marker.
Action.
You're not Frank Hinkle. Man's word ain't good enough? Is that it? Do you not recognize me? It's only been a year and a half.
I'd worked with both Damon and Gary on Waiting on Lost. And, you develop a chemistry with these people. You know how to work off each other. And that's, that's one of the main reasons I think that, was put into this project, was just, hey, we work well together. There's a chemistry here. It's believable. So, why not do another project?
But I think that what really inspired it was seeing all these people that I had worked with before and seeing the passion and everything they put into a project, and knowing that we could put that same passion into a very low budget film and have it look like a very big budget film. I remember when I finished 29 Reasons, the first version, right in the midst of shooting Drone Virus. It was Damon's first feature. And he was dead in the middle of that. And by the time where we really got around to getting him to read the script, because in order for us to be able to make the film, in order for me to be able to even go forward at all, Damon had to be on board.
And when Gary approached me to do 20 Reasons to Run, he pitched it as it's a road trip comedy, and we're gonna shoot it from California to Georgia. And automatically I was sold. I'm like, man, I wanna do this.
I brought the first script to Damon, and he read it, and the comment, it's hard to describe. It's kind of like, he liked it. He didn't want to do it.
And I read the script, and it was a little too slapsticky for my taste, but the more we talked about what the core of the movie was, we kind of honed in the story and made it more of a feel-good comedy.
But then the look on Damon's face when he was trying to very nicely tell me that we might want to do a few minor tweaks, it's just priceless.
With our pre-production, it took about a year because we were on a very limited budget. We wanted to make sure that we could get the right equipment, the actors that we wanted, the director, because we wanted to make a really great project, and being on a limited budget, that can be hard to do. So we were willing to wait for everything to fall into place.
When I did my first feature, Drone Virus, I met a lot of other great actors. I met Adam Kendrick, Michael Ensign, and Philip Boyd. And so when we started 29, I really wanted to take some of the people I met on Drone Virus and get them involved. I also wanted to give actors that are outside of LA an opportunity to be in a feature film. So Gary and I flew to Georgia.
Hi, I'm Tara Frix.
Eric is weak.
We had a real hard time finding the Matt character. The original Matt character was an overweight, jolly, third element type character. So we're looking for this guy, and we're looking all over, and we can't find anybody that really hits him. So we do auditions through tapes, and I found an actor out of Atlanta that I thought was good, and he seemed to get a good grasp on the role. Then we go to the table read, which was in LA. And a lot of us were reading multiple parts because some of the parts had been cast in other states.
And at the table read that we had, I was initially going to play a lawyer in this film, and the guy that was supposed to play Matt didn't show up. So I read Matt as well as my character, and I fell in love with Matt during the table read.
And literally like 3 sentences in, Jamie and I looked at each other and were like, are you hearing what I'm hearing? He had it, everything down, the cadence, the tone in his voice, everything. It was a little different than the original character was made to be like, but it needed that extra thing that Philip brought. Philip brought so much more to that character than we ever thought.
And the director came to me afterwards and asked me if I would like to play Matt, which kind of was a shock because I didn't see myself as a Matt at the time. So I had to go through a transformation to become this guy, and gained like 15 pounds, grew out a mustache, had a mullet.
And he just nailed it. It was amazing. He brought so much more to that part. And I remember shooting the film, and I was like, I like him more than I like my character. I was like, I want to play Matt.
First day of shooting, how do you feel?
I feel brooding.
Brooding?
I had some Dieter's tea. I kind of feel the same way.
The very first day of shooting was in LA, and we were crammed into Gary's apartment.
You know, my apartment, which I actually think was 6 by 6, was the entire size of the apartment. Getting the equipment in was a miracle in itself.
The first couple of days of shooting were probably the roughest, I believe, of the whole shoot, just simply because we were getting used to working together. Some of us had not. And, you know, just figuring out exactly how we were going to pull this off, such a mammoth project.
First day was a little nerve-wracking. It was a little harder to 100% be in that character the way that we were later in the film, just because I was so worried about the production side of it. It didn't take very long, though, for that to completely wear off and just be able to focus in on just that character.
With the limited resources, production sound was a challenge. We used a lot of lavalier mics simply because we didn't have someone to boom. The mixer we got from a friend, Rick, and without that, it would have been practically impossible. But things came together and everyone helped out, which really is what made the project so charmed to begin with.
What are you doing, dude? Setting up the Kino flow so it'll look like the TV's turning on.
Oh.
Independent filmmaking at its best right here.
Miraculously, the size of our crew were 7 people, and that was including the 3 lead actors. And we shot from cross country. I mean, we shot from California all the way to Georgia, shot in 8 states, 2 vans, taking it across, and all of us did everything. You know, there wouldn't be a time that Damon's directing and then as soon as he's done, he goes and sits down. No, he's got to, picking up some of the equipment, putting stuff back in the van, pulling out food.
Tony?
Yeah.
Have you seen my car keys?
Your car keys?
Yeah, I lost them. It's a big surprise.
They were upstairs earlier.
How can I teach you?
Oh my, look at this shit. They're in my back pocket.
Good. Day 2.
But you can't beat what Los Angeles offers. I mean, we got to shoot in some of the, the most beautiful, the greatest places around. An unbelievable restaurant on the beaches.
How'd the Zuma Beach scene go?
Fabulous, except for at Sycamore Cove.
Oh, okay. Gary, how do you feel about it?
I feel seriously. What was the question?
A movie that kind of inspired or that influenced my approach was Y Tu Mama Tambien, which kind of had a documentary yet very cinematic look to it. And that's the approach I took, was making it feel like the camera is just another character in the film and that the audience is one of the friends riding shotgun in the car.
First day of road trip. Barstow, Texas.
This is where the magic happens, baby.
We didn't have a lot of money to have a car trailer to set the car on and drive, so the actors don't really have to drive. So we would use car mounts, which were basically suction cups that you would put on the hood, and then you're driving 50 miles an hour and you're hoping to God that the camera doesn't fly off.
All right, Todd, tell me about the car mount success so far.
Success is it actually attaches a lot more secure than I thought it would. It attaches pretty well. I mean, I was a little worried about these little suction cups. And in reality, they stick well enough, but I've tied enough tether lines on there that if it comes loose, it'll just hang there. It won't go anywhere, hopefully.
In the van scenes, it was really tight. And I was positioned pretty much, and Damon and I both were pretty much positioned anywhere where we would not be seen, which in a lot of cases meant you were crouched down in the back like this, listening and mixing, and Damon was yelling direction over the seat to the actors without even being able to look in their eyes. So that was very challenging, but it worked out great.
Your day's wrapped, isn't it?
Yeah, but not if you count all the counsel I have to give the director at all times about how to direct.
This is true.
And also, it's a lot of work keeping all the ladies off of me.
Yeah.
They dig sound.
All the ladies.
Y'all shooting a movie?
I really enjoyed the Grand Canyon stuff because, it was beautiful and I love the Grand Canyon. But also, everyone, a lot of people were saying, you know what, we'll just ADR it later. There's no way we're going to get clean sound because the wind's whipping and everything. And we didn't ADR any of that. All of it is is the real sound, which I was really proud of because that was a really challenging day and we pulled it off.
I had never been there before, and I had always, heard it was this beautiful place, and I thought it's just a big hole in the ground, how great can it be? But just being there for the whole day, it just kind of sucks you in, and I know we were kind of all, mesmerized by the place. That's the one thing that sticks out in my mind as being just one of the most beautiful places.
Man, that was cool because the sun was setting, it was beautiful, it was very majestic.
So I'm sitting in the back of the van with all the gear, and I'm waiting for everybody to come up, so I pull out the guitar and just start playing around, noodling around and stuff.
When you're walking downtown, you wish I was there.
It was really funny because some guy who was staying there, I guess, saw the van, asked my brother if I was Dave Matthews.
Windows clear.
Open up my hand, don't let me out, little baby.
Life on the road is hard. It's hard living, and I don't recommend it to anybody. It's tough, we were crammed into 2 vehicles. One was the picture car, the minivan, and the other was a 15-passenger van, which was taken up with half by the equipment. And it's a lot of fast food. It's, your sleeping quarters or was somebody's house or a motel room.
I remember Branden and I, before shots, we'd be sitting in the van, mirror tilted down, doing our own makeup and the thing.
It was tough, but it was fun. It was a good bonding experience.
The experience of being in a van with a bunch of guys, it was very interesting. I was an only child. I didn't have the experience of things that guys did when they're all together in a group. So I basically heard it, saw it within reason, smelled it, whatever it was. Yeah, it was an interesting experience, but I liked to get back at them by driving and playing Alanis Morissette, which really made them upset. So that was my way of getting back at anything that they did to me in the van.
Welcome to 29 Reasons to Run, the Lubbock series.
Shooting in Lubbock, Texas was, one of my favorite parts of the film, actually. It's my hometown.
I made a lot of short films while I was in Lubbock. Nothing to this scale, but it was really cool to have all my LA friends out in Lubbock helping me make this film. And I got to shoot in some locations that when I was younger, I tried to go and shoot at, like the Ranching Heritage Center. I asked them once when I was in high school to shoot something there, and they wouldn't let me.
It's just a unique little location, and they were just really strict about bringing cameras in and that sort of thing. And so when we got to shoot there, and we're actually doing a film, a legitimate film, it was just a great, neat experience, and it was great to have your family around.
I came in at Lubbock, Texas, and that's where Matt was introduced in the script and the story. I became Matt. I drank, I smoked, I dipped, I did everything this character would have done, which when I got out of the character, I had to do a whole detox to get back to my normal self.
Crawdad's coming out. Tell you what, here, Paradise, take over for me, bud. Remember how we used to do it? Yeah. How hard can it be, right? All right, I'll see you guys in a minute, okay?
Good job, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. He added the spark that we needed in a very tired point of the film. And his work ethic is just amazing, he's obviously a great actor. But on top of that, I guess maybe his mentality of working so hard in LA for so long, when he wasn't acting, he was always helping. He was one of my major boom guys. He's always moving lights. He just never stops moving.
I do remember saying, wow, this is, it's fun to hang out with this guy, but I know that this is not ever going to happen again, because we'll get back to LA and there'll be no mullet, so.
Cut.
That was good.
One of the perks of getting to shoot outside of LA are the fact that some places are so willing to bend over backwards for you. The restaurant that we shot at in Lubbock was called the Gardsky's Loft, and they literally gave us the whole top floor. They were so accommodating, and then afterwards they gave us a free steak dinner. That doesn't happen in LA, I don't think. Some of the most fun times we had were after shoots when we all got to hang out at my parents' house or the actor's house, or going to eat at our favorite barbecue, and everyone just, it was like being on vacation. Everyone was together. I was really excited to get to shoot at Possum Kingdom Lake. I went there through high school and college with Branden. It was our summer place. Us guys would go, we'd go skiing.
It's always been fun. You go there, you crash over a weekend, you stay in your swimming suit or your shorts the whole time.
And this is a place where Branden had grown up and had tons of good times. But evidently those times had been a few years before we got there.
And when we drive up, I'm like, guys, this is it, isn't this great?
When we first arrived in one of the locations is called Possum Kingdom, Texas, and I don't think anybody in the United States outside of Possum Kingdom, Texas knows Possum Kingdom, Texas.
Philip's expression to the lake house was one that I didn't see coming because, again, he's in this character, he's got the mullet, the handlebar mustache, and he's like, all right, I don't get cell phone service up here. It's the one time that I saw Philip break character.
I didn't sign up for this. What's that? I didn't sign up for this. You got no fucking cell phone service. I'm out of here. I can't even get a cell phone signal around here. Hey, I'm Roman.
We walk in and the roof's caved in. There's like a forest of grass that hasn't been mowed in what looks like years. And so we start literally landscaping and cleaning the whole house to shoot in.
So it's like, what is this? And to me, it's like, we'll get a mower, some weed whackers, we'll knock this stuff down, it'll be fine. No problem.
And I tell you, I got to give it to Branden for keep pushing with that damn lawnmower.
I think we're gonna have to cut this with scissors.
Yeah.
Damon?
And then we're like, well, let's use a weed whacker, and we'll just use the weed whacker and use that as a lawnmower.
I'm no mechanic, but I know how to get a lawnmower started, and it was almost one of those challenges that I'm like, I will do this. I will get this thing to start.
It doesn't seem like that. Let's do it, baby.
Oh! He's the champion!
Keep going, keep going. Come on, one like the wind, baby. No! No! I appreciate the behind the scenes, and I hope all of you that see this love it, but we need the cameraman to help us clean up.
Okay, Tony, no problem. I'm gonna go help in the room. Come back here. During the time we were cleaning up a lot of stuff at Possum Kingdom and getting the area ready to shoot, Todd and Jamie had gone to Dallas to pick up Tara, who had flown in. It's about a 3-hour drive from Possum Kingdom. And keep in mind that Tara had only met us once. We had an audition in Georgia with her. She met us for about 5 minutes, and then we're bringing her out to Dallas to drive her 3 hours into basically the middle of nowhere. It's a late night shooting. We're shooting till about, my guess is 2 a.m., 1:30, 2 a.m. By the time we get back, go to sleep, and we're supposed to shoot a sunrise shot the next morning. And it's a really intense part of the movie. It's where, you know, Paradise kind of says his piece to Peter, and we went down there on 2 hours of sleep, and Branden and I both are just fumbling through lines, trying to get, you know, everything with the sun. You got like 30 minutes of that sun sitting there in the perfect spot.
Remember that time in college when your alarm clock didn't go off and you missed your geology exam? Yeah, senior year. Sorry. Bless you. Bless you. Good Lord, Pete. Jeez. I didn't know. I'm sorry, we gotta start over. I'm sorry. I thought I could go with it with 6 sneezes, shit.
It's about... It's probably about a little over...
6 feet.
Maybe 6 feet.
So people got to jump in kind of to the side. Damon, I think a good director would be in the water right now.
Oh. What?
I'm like a beached whale.
Hey, look right here.
We woke up this morning and it was pissing down the rain. Is it pissing down the rain?
Pissing bad.
Pissing down the rain.
So we need to get some fingernail polish so I have a chigger colony on my leg.
and they're migrating up this ball.
Exactly.
Y'all thought the wind was big.
That's what I was saying, like I probably inherited
It's pretty crazy in school.
Well, too, I mean, you're
Basically what we're trying to establish in this shot is Salem's rich, and we're all poor.
What I did was I went in depth to the character, and I tried to reach within myself, within my soul almost, to actually bring out the real pain.
Can you go ahead and sign him out?
Yeah, I'm trying to, seriously. God.
Excuse me, I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know
talk seriously here.
Where are we going today?
We're going to the PHILIN station.
Hillin.
I think I got my
'Cause
fill-in
it's-
last night.
I got definitely some filling last night.
I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean...
No, I didn't either. I just meant I got...
I know, Phil.
I got my fill.
I got Bill.
I got my fill last night. Ooh.
We got to Shreveport, and that's basically what I consider probably the biggest learning experience that I had as a first-time filmmaker. We had this big karaoke scene. They let us be able to use the karaoke bar, free to run it all day. One of the things we didn't really consider at the time was the songs we were going to use for the karaoke. We ended up using a couple of random songs. We had everything else completely set up, had no songs set to go. So as we're about to go on, Jamie runs to Best Buy, grabs a couple of karaoke CDs, brings them back. We decide the songs we're going to do, and we actually write. Branden and I are out in the car writing the lyrics to what we're going to do in the karaoke scene right before we shot it. But at the time, I never really thought about how difficult it would be to get the full rights to some of these songs, and we used some pretty mainstream songs. And it wasn't until way after post-production that we realized that we just weren't going to be able to afford these songs. Big time mistake on my part, because it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and we ended up having to cut it. It's just one of those things. It's, you know, as you're making a film, you leave one little piece out, and it has a huge residual effect. And you know, you live and learn. I know not to do that again.
We got some iTunes to control rooms, so if you got the guts to get on up off your butts, maybe you can be a slinger.
Being able to shoot in my hometown of Morris, Georgia was, to me, hands down the highlight of being able to do the film. I feel like because of where I was raised and how I was raised, I got the opportunity to take chances just in my life in general, just to be an actor and to be out here in LA. And I think so much of that has to do with that town and my family and the people that surrounded me, and being able to go back there and shoot in this unbelievable comfort zone, you know, where my grandmother's cooking us dinner when we come back in from shooting this huge day.
To see all those people in there, even today, still kind of gets you choked up a little, because to be able to bring that back to them after they watched us make crappy video movies our whole life, and to see something actually with high production value and everything, I think they were really proud.
You know, I think we were down there for 9 days, and it was, I can't describe how much it meant to me just to be able to be there.
Stop bugging, cut the racket, and get me a multicolored jacket to strap me and wrap me, because I don't want to fall in the hole where the lions get trapped again.
It was fun. It was a gift to be able to play something like that. And I think a lot of it has to do with the placement of that character in the story. You know, obviously it's building up to a very serious moment, and all of a sudden you have this great kind of innocent goofiness that happens. It's you know, it was fun.
Let's just say Casperson's normally not a white rapper, but he nailed it. It took him a couple of times. I think he was getting the feel of it, you know. And we didn't have any music for him, of course, at the time. We added that in later. So he was pretty much freestyling.
Think.
Because I don't want to get caught again in that lion's hole with them bad mother scratching pulled yellow rugged cross. You there, you remember me? I'm sorry. Gonna throw it over to my good buddy Morgan. He's gonna play.
At that point, filming had been going on for a while, and to allow me to come in and automatically be involved with that kind of that fraternity right from the get-go was just that was a lot of fun to be around. I've never actually been involved in a shoot that it was that had such a tight camaraderie.
Give us a heads up of today's.
Cheers. Actually, today's scene we get to reveal the big secret. Too early.
And then we have how many actors today? Like everyone?
Too many.
We asked the people at the Quitman County Courthouse, it was a Monday, if we could shoot there. And interestingly enough, they said sure, and not only did they say sure, they gave us free reign.
They were giving us the courthouse for 2 days. They were like, here's the keys, now go shoot and have fun. Someone will be back to lock it up later. You kids make your film.
That's something that a lot of people just are amazed by, but that's just the way people are down there, and that's the reason we really wanted to shoot down there, because everyone is excited as we are.
Are you done?
No. God, no. 3 more days.
I meant today, but.
Oh. I mean, I love it. I mean, it's been great and all. It's just so darn hot.
One of the funniest things that happened when we were shooting this film was we had this driving scene. We were driving down the road,
and there's a shot from the front, and Damon was actually shooting that. He is crunched up against the windshield to get that shot, and I'm in the very back. We're cruising down some back road in Morris where I grew up, and just out of nowhere, there's this Philip shrieks.
Nah, Jazz, it's me, Paradise. What's up, man? Oh, God!
No.
Oh, shit!
rabbit that ran across the road.
No, I tried to swerve and miss it, but I didn't want to throw Damon out of the damn car.
And it was the funniest thing to try to avoid this rabbit and try to still stay in character.
We just hit a rabbit.
Wait, we gotta go get it.
That's right, a rabbit.
Being ambitious, you want to do ambitious things with the film. You want to do things that probably you shouldn't do or you can't do. And one of those was the whole Peter's coming to realization, like finally waking up and saying, I should live this day like there is no tomorrow. And the original gag was he was changing a tire on the van that had blown out, and I don't know, he gets his tie caught in the hood of the car, and the tire starts to roll down, and it falls in the Grand Canyon, and he runs after it, and he falls in the Grand Canyon, and well, yeah, we can shoot this. I mean, I know a couple of cliffs that you can jump off of. Airbags? No, we don't have airbags. And we couldn't pull off this tire gag. It just, 1, the location didn't look right. 2, it was dangerous. 3, I didn't want to, really. And we all sat around the campsite. We were like, oh, what can we do? What can we come up with? And I think me standing in front of a van barreling down the highway and barely getting missed was definitely not genius, but you know, it made the point, and it was a solution.
Last day of shooting. Feel like we are in a world of hurt.
Yes, that was thunder. And we have quite a big scene to shoot today. Producer stressing yet?
No.
Dude, why don't we...
There's a giant lightning. We should just get
All right, why don't we put these conductors in the car?
Dude,
Yeah, listen,
I got that on. Here we go.
Get in the bag,
Grab the
your
script.
Dude, look at that. Crazy. The best is when the mudslide happens.
Thanks, Tony.
We had to sort of scrap the whole beginning part of the day, move it to night. We have a generator because we need lights. The generator has to be miles away from where we're shooting because it's too loud, and Tony is screaming that he can hear the generator running. And then I have to have a scene with Gary.
We're having some problems with our tent, so maybe you could help us fix it. I could look closer for your credentials.
Today is the final day. The unofficial final day. I'm excited.
It was the final day.
I'm very tired. Of course, I've lost pretty much everything again, including keys, wallet, keys to other cars.
Straight up.
Action! That's a wrap.
Let's hear it! Woo! We gotta get out of the Louvre for this one.
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude. Thank you. That is
29 reasons to run.
Way to go, Mr. Osteen.
Company rap for Director Damon, DP Todd Tidwell. And come on. Give me
Brothers.
I gotta have Give me some neck.
Let's end it on a home. What happened?
29 Reasons was such a special thing to me as far as the way that we shot it. It wasn't even as much as making the film, you know, of the film as the final product. It was actual us shooting the film and hanging out and, you know, taking 30 days and just, you know, you're really immersed in this thing. Not only as in the film, but as friends. And you kind of create these relationships that far outgrow the movie. Yeah, there was just a feeling about it, and we knew it was something special when we were there.
Happy birthday to
And honestly, it was some of the best times I've ever had in my entire life. Traveling across country in a van.
Just getting to see and drive cross country. I've never driven cross country at all, so there were so many great things that I could see and that we could do along the way that I would never have ever experienced, probably, nor would I possibly ever again.
It couldn't have gone better. I think it probably went better than some big shoots would have gone with a lot more money and a lot more resources.
If I had the opportunity to do a film like this again, I would do it in a heartbeat. In fact, and people say I'm crazy for this, but I would almost rather do films this way. Because, now granted, you know, it would be nice if we weren't all broke when we were doing it. But just doing it, you know, with such a small group and everyone helping out, really, I think that's what gives this film the special edge that it has. It feels real.
I really hope it opens the eyes to a lot of people that there are films like this and there are filmmakers like this that can make films for a low budget, a lower budget, and that can make them as good as any other film.
Can be further from the truth.